universe.
Prologue. Back to Earth.
Hey boss, did you read the front page of the spiraling meteor today? The latest news about Drexelhead 5's audition at the Black Hole Gala says this will be their biggest performance yet.
That's great news! We're on our way, Fangle. After all these years, the sweat, the tears, and those lousy artists who just left us behind? Not anymore. Wait till you see their faces when we walk into the Hall of Remembering.
Mr. Durham took a second to look at his assistant, Fangle. He was clearly concerned about something.
That's okay, Fangle. I'm not leaving you behind. We're both going to be taken care of. The rules for entry clearly state that all artist representatives get a place in the hall, and that includes you.
Sir, the thing is...
Fangle paused.
Out with it. What, has the catapus caught your tongue?
Fangle let out a big sigh.
They say it's going to be performed under Alpha Centauri Records, not Dark Matter Records.
The slinky-headed biped hung the article in front of his boss, Mr. Durham, whose muscles began to twitch as sweat started to seep out from his cat pores, which due to stress had expanded to nearly the size of a quarter.
What do you mean? No, that's impossible. We were supposed to renew our contract for this next audition. That last performance was a smash hit. We were just getting somewhere.
Mr. Durham took the magazine and shook the goo off left by his assistant Fangle.
This can't be.
Mr. Durham urged. His beads of sweat at this point began to boil as they trickled down his cat face.
I'll call them, and we'll just see where the mix-up is. Someone screwed up here. Those spiraling meteor writers, they can't even get their story right, can they?
Mr. Durham quickly activated the comms within his new Sportscaster 31 spaceship. But the call immediately went to the notice that the line had been disconnected. There was now a mist being expelled from Mr. Durham's body as the sweat evaporated off of him. The duo fell to a silence for a moment. As Mr. Durham's brand new sports ship drifted into the oblivion of outer space, knowing only his trusted companion Fangle was around, Mr. Durham felt comfortable expelling a nuance of foul language, of which only could be conjured by beings that had explored the entire universe with space pirates as companions. Mr. Durham was going through every stage of grief at the same time. Anger, depression, empathy, and just as he would approach the end of his rage, the cycle would begin again. Fangle looked at this performance with hesitation to interrupt. He knew that the last thing to do was get in the middle of Mr. Durham's breakdown. You see, it wasn't the first time Mr. Durham had been left behind by one of his artists. His dream was to enter the Hall of Remembering with the artists who he helped get there and walk them into the empty space where sounds last forever in the next dimension. This is where Mr. Durham believed he belonged. After all, he was the reason so many artists got their start. Elvis, Madonna, Pharrell. One thing was for sure. Mr. Durham gave them the foot in the door. But when the fruit was ripe, it was always one of the intergalactic labels that picked them up and took the glory. To make matters worse, time was not on the duo's side. Their work wasn't just a matter of passion, it was a question of life and death. Mr. Durham reached into his pocket and pulled out a watch. It highlighted the orbit of the planets across the galaxy. You see, a special moment is about to arrive, and one must be ready.
We need fresh talent.
Mr. Durham meowed, with a glimpse in his eye towards opportunity. Fangle nodded, and input sector coordinates. Their spaceship took off in a flash.
Right meow.
Sorry about that.
All right, meow. And over la 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 la. Registration. Hurry up, meow. There's something funny. Well, then why you laughing, Mr.
Durnham!
Yeah, you tell him, boss.
Yeah, we're going to Earth.
Thank you.